Greetings and salutations, everyone. I am, as always, Darth Devious, bringing you another video review, this time from the new Transformers Age of Extinction. It's Evasion mode, Optimus Prime. Now, before we go over the packaging, I'm going to let you all know, you are going to see very few reviews of anything from this movie from me. I basically want about 4 or 5 figures, and when I get them, unless something comes out that really sticks out to me, I'm not getting a lot. I'm probably going to get Grimlock, the Voyager class, not the Leader class. Can't stand the way the Leader class looks. I have Scorn. I have Slug. I've got, obviously, Evasion Optimus. I want Hound when he comes out, the Voyager. Really, there may be 1 or 2 Dinobots down the line I'll get when I actually, start seeing real reviews of them and make my own mind up then. But don't pressure me for a lot of reviews from this. I'm not a huge Movieverse fan. Yeah, I will admit, if it wasn't for the Movieverse, we wouldn't still have Transformers today. We probably wouldn't have the Masterpiece line that we have. Things like that. It really helped, reinvigorate and keep the franchise going. So, that being said, let's get into this review, which is my first from this movie. So here we go. You see on there is a nice CGI model of Optimus Prime with bullet holes and cracked windshields and, broken pieces on them and everything else. Alright, and as you see on the package, there's a nice Transformers logo, and there's the Transformers 4 logo. Alright, on the side it says Transformers Autobot symbol. Autobot, almost like, some sort of sports symbol. And there it is on the side. Bottom of the box. Authentic Transformers. It's got to be important, even though it's made in Vietnam. Alright, and on the back here, you see Evasion mode Optimus Prime, how the prototype looked. It's not how this looks, but whatever. And it comes with, it says ion cannon, but it's Dark of the Moon Megatron's shotgun. And I wasn't going to go into my garage and try and dig out the Dark of the Moon Megatron. I don't know what tote he's in right now. If I had, you would have seen that, yeah, Dark of the Moon Megatron can hold it. You can read his bio if you want on your own time. And the main reason why I got this guy is right there. This, beyond a shadow of a doubt, and we'll bring him in, proves that Michael Bay could have given us a G1 design Optimus Prime at any time during this franchise. And he always argued he couldn't do that because it just, it wouldn't fit right with the size that he wanted. It wouldn't look right. It wouldn't this. He gave us so many excuses. And then we get to the 4th movie, and what does he give us? It's G1 Optimus, basically, with a movie robot mode. So now that the box is out of here, let's take a look at Evasion mode Optimus Prime in his truck mode. And as you see, other than, having just a single smokestack, it really does evoke the G1 toy. Case in point, here is the G1 toy. And as you can see, there's a lot of similarities. A lot of similarities in the two. The colors are a little different, but not too much. And there's no rub symbol on this one. But, yeah. And the cab on Evasion Optimus is a little taller than the original. And they're about the same length, but the back end of this is taller. There you go. And he's got plastic wheels, he's got rubber wheels. Now this is actually the reissue G1. My smokestacks, yeah, it's got long smokestacks. I took them off of a beat up G2 figure that I got for dirt cheap. So, there you go. Never underestimate the power of eBay sometimes, people. You can find something One of the ways you can tell that this is the reissue is, see this extended part here on the hub? The original G1 did not have that. This is actually the mold that was used for Ultra Magnus. So you can actually put this inside of an Ultra Magnus armor shell and use it for him, because this is what held that in place. Little G1 history trivia for you. And here you can see I've got his trailer. And his trailer sits on him nicely. Sadly, there's nowhere to plug the trailer in on him, as much as I would like, but I'm going to modify something though. There's got to be a way to modify something to get this trailer to work with him. Even though the tires are too small, but you know. Still, we can dream, right? We can dream. A movie-verse figure pulling a G1 trailer. Anyway, get that out of here. Get him out of here. Alright, I'm going to transform him, and then we'll look at his robot mode, because he's got a nice robot mode too. Not going to show the transformation. I just don't do that anymore. I don't have time. And also his transformation, it's very fiddly and very difficult, but you end up with two really solid modes. I mean, this is really solid. It's not going anywhere. I hate that it doesn't have a lot of paint apps. I'm going to be adding some to this mode, and I'm going to be adding a ton to the robot mode, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, be right back. Alrighty, now here's Evasion Optimus Prime in his robot mode, and as you see, it's Movieverse Optimus Prime. And it came from a G1 truck mode. Go figure! So, you know, he's actually really cool, though the paint job is just way off. I mean, you saw on the packaging, this here is supposed to be gray, these are supposed to be red. I will be painting it that way. It's missing the silver stripe across here. I will be adding that. I will be redoing some of the silver as well, because it just doesn't stand out as much as it's supposed to. And I'm thinking of trying to do either a head swap or coming up with a way to make a mouth plate for him, because I don't like the face at all. Yeah. Otherwise, it really is kind of cool, and there's not a lot of kibble hanging off him, which is nice. You know, there's not a lot of kibble in either mode, and it's actually pretty good. I mean, all things considered. Take a look at the gun here, and as I said, this is Megatron's shotgun from Dark of the Moon that he used to execute Sentinel Prime at the end. So I guess he kept it. So it's pretty cool. And it has a firing missile. You see, I kind of held it back some, so. And that's nice. And he can hold it real nice. You know, and it actually is good for, because he has a wrist swivel, but his wrists are really tight, and it actually helps him to maneuver his wrists. Alright? You know, you can see some details here. We'll come up a little bit and zoom in on his upper area here. And as you can see, you know, you get this nice grilled chest thing, you know. You get the headlights here. Now this is all fake. This is all behind the actual front of the truck. The way he transforms is really cool, that all this kind of hides and stuff like that. But, yeah, some really nice details. He's got the smokestacks on either side of his head. They will be getting painted silver. They should never be red. Never. Never. And here you can see his face with the faceplate. And you know, it's nice. It's interesting having an Optimus Prime with a mouth. It's just not my thing, but you know, it's still kind of cool. He does have light piping. It's kind of hard to see because I've got a lot of light here. So, but yeah, it works really well, but it's clear. It's just clear eyes. So it kind of, you lose something because of the clear eyes. I'm probably going to go put like a light blue tint over them just so that I don't lose the light piping, but you know, still retain something. Then you go down, you see his legs. His legs are just standard blue legs, Optimus legs, movieverse feet. You know. All in all, he really is pretty well done. Yeah. I like how this one came together. And we'll compare him here real quick before I go over articulation with his G1 counterpart. You see. And he can hold the G1 weapon. You kind of have to put it at an angle, but he can hold it. I thought you were made of sterner stuff, Megatron. So, yeah, there you go. And you see the G1 is considerably shorter, considering they started off as truck modes that were almost the same size. So that's pretty cool. Here you go. Here's evolution of Transformers in 30 years. Pretty much same cab mode, completely different robot modes. There you go. Alright, move that. One more size comparison. You know I gotta bring him in because you got to. Here's Soundwave Voorhees. And he towers over him, as he should, because he's an imposing figure of death. That's right. He's not going away, people. Not going away. Get used to him. Anyway, let's go over his articulation. You see here, his head is on a really nice ball joint. So you can get some nice, he can look down, he can look up, side to side, all that nice stuff. Because I'm Optimus, yeah. He's got his shoulders go around, and they're on ratchets going out, as you can hear. He has a swivel there. His elbow's in a weird spot. Now, if you look at it this way, I guess in the movie it bends here. On the toy, it bends here. It always looks like he's got, you know, a bent arm, which is actually a natural thing. Most people's arms are always bent. You can straighten it out. You get a little weirdness here, but that's okay. I can deal with that. Doesn't bother me. Alright. I already said he had a wrist swivel, and it's easier to use with having the gun in there for a pivot. He has a nice waist. You know? And I don't even think that's for transformation. I don't think you have to turn him at the waist to transform. I could be wrong. I don't think you'd had to. I think everything just flips nicely. So that's a bonus. He's got, you know, these get out of the way. They can move, which is good, because then you can get him to kick out and kick some Decepticon butt. And he's got, you know, forward and back, in and out. Has a nice rotation in his thigh. Has a nice knee joint, better than 90 degrees. Then his foot is on a rocker. It goes back and forth. It pivots back and forth, so you get some nice movement out of it. So you can get some really cool Optimus-y poses out of him. Yeah, look at that. I am Optimus Prime. So yeah, out of all the figures I've gotten so far, all three of them from this new Age of Extinction, he is probably the highest recommended figure I could give you right now. If you only can get one figure from all of the whole movieverse, get this figure. Get this figure. Seems all the best engineering went into this figure, and everything else became a shell former. Get this figure. I can't recommend it enough, guys. I really can't. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Even if you're not a fan of the movieverse, get this figure. Simply because this is as close as you're going to get to a modern G1 Optimus Prime in truck mode. And still have a fantastic robot mode to go with it. Alright? Alright. You guys, you all be good. I've got this really cool Optimus Prime, and he can hide, he can evade really well. You'll never see him coming. Because he's Murder Prime.